Cody Alexander, bringing you another edition of MatchQuarters Quick Hits. Today we're talking about a vision drill and how we can kind of kill two birds with one stone with a simple drill. If you see here, I've got it set up. We've got the defensive back right here. I've got a line of receivers getting ready to run the drill. A couple overlooked things when talking about coverage and teaching your kids is where routes break off. So what I actually have here is I've put some cones. You can't really see them, but I put a start line where the hitch or quick route would be where the post normally breaks out, which is about 7 or 8, and then where the curl and the comeback normally breaks in around 10. And now what I teach them is from 8 to 10, anywhere around 8. If a receiver is going to break off, whether it's going to be a post, a corner, or a comeback curl, it's going to happen in this range. This would be the deceleration zone, or this would be where they break off on their vertical stretch. And I always tell kids, especially at the high school level, if a kid at the high school level is going to run a deep route and they know they're going to get a shot, they're not going to kind of run a sluggo where they're going slow and then they're exploding past. The other point of this drill is that they have to keep their eyes on me for 3. So I'm looking at them. I already know what the route combination is going to be because, well, I'm the quarterback. I'm on offense. I've already communicated with the receiver. So they need to be able to get their step offs. This does several different things. First off, they have their triangles. So they've got their wide receiver all the way to the quarterback. So they've kind of built this triangle of vision, which is something you want to combat. Basically running fake routes, which a lot of offenses do now, is not only do they do RPOs, but they're also running fake routes to pull people from the box or to pull the secondary players. And I'll get to where the running back comes into play here after a couple of clips. So in this clip, you're just going to see he's going to run and break off at 8 because he's going to run a post route. The DB's eyes are going to be on me, and I'm going to simulate a drop back pass. Remember, most times out of a shotgun offense, if it's quick game, that quarterback is catching the ball and he's throwing the ball. So let's take a look at this. So as he's going, he's seeing it, and notice the step off. He's got 1, 2, 3, and then he chops his feet, buzz, 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 because where did that break come from? It came right at about the 8 yards. So I put the cone, he can see the break, and now he's breaking right now because he's anticipated it at all. Now remember, he has no idea what the route combination is. It could be anything. I could run an out route, a hitch route. I could have him run a post, a seam because he's the safety, or a comeback, or what we would call a curl. So again, here you can see him anticipate. He goes, and then he tops his shoulder. Okay, so what we want is him getting that vertical top. So if you see, he's got perfect alignment. He's vertically topping it. So if that throw goes over the ball, that quarterback's going to throw it to the DB. Anything underneath, we're going to have linebacker help. So here again, I'm simulating a drop back, drop, drop, drop. He sees the cut. He anticipates it and is able to see it because he sees it at the deceleration zone. So here's another example of this. We've got a post. Now, here's how you can do it with a corner. So the first clip was of a safety. He's at 10 yards. He's getting his step-offs. He's reading. Now we got the corner. So this is the same thing. He's inside leverage. He's at 6 yards. This would be like mod quarters coverage, man, outside deep. So his eyes, you can clearly see, are looking at me in the backfield. The ball is snapped. He sees it. He sees me, and he can anticipate. If I'm anticipating it at this point at 8 yards, I'm either going to see a deceleration or I'm going to see some sort of a cut for the post. He sees that it's a cut for the post. He's able to top the route, and the play is dead. Okay, now, if he were to run a vertical route, he would see that, okay, there was no stop in the deceleration zone. I'm going to right pull, and I'm going to accelerate through that. So this is, again, is another way of getting your guys to read their triangle. So he's looking here while he's also looking here. That creates a triangle. So this is what I consider the triangle read. It's really a 3-step read too, because more than anything, I want to see the quick game. Again, out of the shotgun, those quarterbacks are catching and throwing if it's quick game because of how far back they are from the center. So that's important for us to do that. The other thing is being able to expand your peripheral vision. One thing, and to be great in chaos, which defensive football is nothing but chaos. We're trying to sift through what's a real route, what's a fake route, what's a run key, what's a pass key. How can I tell? The other thing too that I always teach them too is my intentions. Notice how my shoulders are pointing up. So these kids know now, okay, shoulders up means it's a deep throw. He cut it 8 yards. That means that's a post route. So those kids understand that, and we work that. If I was going to throw it short, my shoulders would be pointing this way, and they would be pointing down. If it was going to be a short route, I would be pointing down into the hitch, which is right here. Instead, as I go through, you can see my shoulders are pointed up and out, so he knows it's going to be a deep throw. This is another way that if you play some off zone or you're playing some zone match, that this is going to help you guys, especially with eyes coverage. You run trap 2, you run any kind of zone coverage, this is going to help you guys. So let's take a look at this again. Here's a quick throw. Pop, pop, pop. He sees that. So again, you can see, where do my shoulders go? In order for me, I'm right-handed. So in order for me to throw that, you can see right here, my shoulders have to get almost parallel to that line. I'm throwing that ball out. As he gets that step off, you can see step off, step off, step off. I catch and I'm releasing. He knows it's a quick game and he knows it's out right now. So he's able to look at the quarterback and he can throw it. And again, I've always said, especially if you run a lot of sky coverage, that out route is a hard throw to make. I've made that point on several different clinics that I've talked about. You know, a lot of people are afraid of the out route in sky. But again, here I am. I'm just lobbing it over there, and I can't even complete the pass. So, you know, how much do you think a high school quarterback that's getting some pressure in his face is going to think as well? Here's the other element that I add in this. So, one, we're getting our vision point. We're getting our triangle read. But two, we're understanding what it means to have the back to me and what it means to have the back away. So, for here, with the running back to me, I'm thinking RPO. I'm thinking quick game off of play action. I'm thinking something that's going to happen post snap. So for me, I also need to be able to get the run read and be quick to the fit, especially at the running backs to me. So for here, that's exactly what we're looking at. So here we have an out route. I gave them an out route on purpose because I want them to get that push out, but they have to keep looking at the running back. I want to put them in the worst possible scenario. I've got an out route and I've got a quarterback and a running back, and it looks like they're handing the ball off. Do I follow the out, or do I try and fit off my anchor point, which is the overhang? So here you can see it. I'm right here. I'm staring him down, and I hand the ball off. He pat, and that's what I'm telling him right now. You can see me. I'm pointing. I say, hey, ball's handed off. You know that I would have to completely flip my body around. I'm right-handed, so if the quarterback would have to completely flip his body around and be able to get his shoulders going this way, or I'm going to throw vertical and my shoulders are going to stay up, which he's perfectly fine because he stayed on the hash. So it's important to teach these little things that you don't think about, but quarterback shoulders and intentions are just as important. Look, I don't want my safeties and corners looking at the quarterback the entire time, but they have to be able in that first 3 steps to identify, is it run, is it play action, or is it a quick throw? Now, if he were to bubble, he would need to start sinking down into the curl, anticipating it, because that is a definite read. I get this, and so if I get a vertical push by the running back and a horizontal push by the wide receiver, I need to make sure that I'm at least expanding over that and working through the curl. I can always come back because I've got an overhang right here that's going to fit off the run. Another overlooked aspect of the running back. When the running back is away, I know that I'm going to be probably on a pre-snap read. So I'm going to get different things. I'm probably going to get different routes. I'm not, if I get a bubble, I know that quarterback's going to have to completely turn around, get his shoulder square, especially if it's a right-hand quarterback. Now, if it's a left-hand quarterback, we probably need to make sure that we understand what we're doing because he can easily catch and throw. But for the most part, we see right-handed quarterbacks. So he's going to have to completely flip around, especially on a flop read. So the quarterback's eyes are going to have to be here, but his shoulders and body placement are going to be here so he can fit off the mesh. So for him, he's going to have to completely flip around if he's going to be able to throw an RPO or a quick game. So what I do here is I make sure that they understand. As I get a push route and I get the quarterback reading the mesh, I can be slow. If I get a vertical stem and it's hot in my face right now, then now I know it might be play action and he's going to have to flip, but I'm still going to be able to see him flip. So here, as we see the run, you can see he starts working back in because he sees the run. So this is a great way to challenge your guys horizontally as well as vertically and get their vision point. And this is a simple drill that you can do and you can run through everybody after you've hit all your spots. And then you start putting in one of the your players as a running back, and you either put the running back away or running back two, and now they have to read, run, or pass, and they still have to fit off of it. Because that's one thing as young players that they really need to work on is getting that vision point and understanding my triangle read. That I have to be able to see the quarterback for three. I have to be able to relate and see departure speed of my running back to create my triangle. But I also have this running back, and I got to make sure, especially in a quarter scheme, especially if you're playing sky coverage, and you're expecting those safeties to fit, that I've got to be able to fit off of the run as quickly as possible. It's another great example of two. Am I on the read side? Right here, okay, safety, I'm on the read side. I've got the running back. He's going to be reading for that overhang crashing down, or for me crashing down, or for me staying high and nobody covering this guy. This is the RPO side. Or am I on the non-RPO side or the pre-snap read side where the quarterback is going to be turned the other way? So that's another way that you can kind of steal a little bit, kind of like a half a man in the box by just reading intentions of the quarterback, learning to gain that peripheral vision again of my triangle, so that I'm not just locked in on my receiver and we're not basically playing pseudo man coverage. Thank you again for joining Match Quarters on another quick hit. Hopefully you got something out of this. If you have any questions, again, always DM me. It is always open at all times. You can also contact me through the website. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at @the_coach_A. Make sure to visit the site regularly. Let me know if you need anything, guys. Really appreciate the time.